Hello, I'm Teacher Robin. Welcome to another live streaming class. If this is your first time to join us, let me explain how the classes work. Today our topic is a book, a movie, and a song in New York City. If you have a question during the class, you can write your question in the comment section and I'll answer them at the end of the class. So if you want to just say hello, tell us where you're joining from, or if you have a question related to today's topic, you can write that in the comments. Okay, before we get started with today's topic, I want to tell you about a special award that ABBA has been nominated for. Okay, this is the Best App in Spain award. So you may not live in Spain, but you can help us by voting. So we're going to post the link in the comments. All you have to do is click on this heart here to vote for ABBA for the best app in Spain. So if you use the course and you are happy with it, which I hope you are, then please help us out by voting for ABBA for best app. Okay, so let's move on to today's topic, a book, a movie, and a song in New York City. Okay, we've done a few examples of this series in the past. We've also done London, we've done Texas, where I'm from. So today we're going to concentrate on New York City. So I'm going to give you some recommendations as well as some tips for how to learn English by reading books, by watching movies, and by listening to music. Okay, so the first one, let's talk about a book which takes place in New York City, okay? Let's look first at some tips on how you can learn English by reading books, okay? Reading is a great way for you to improve your vocabulary, etc. So some things that I recommend. Read a book that interests you, okay? Find a topic, something that is interesting for you. Otherwise, you're not going to want to read it, no matter what language, okay? Choose a book that is appropriate for your level. There are many books available that are adjusted to different levels, like Oxford readers, Cambridge readers. You can find those, and you can read, for example, classic books at intermediate level, okay? So check that out. Find a book that's suitable for your level. I recommend keeping a notebook with vocabulary, expressions, quotes that you find as you go along, and then you can keep the vocabulary with the definition and go back and look at your notes if you can't remember something. Okay, another way to understand the book better is to make a timeline for clarity. Some books take place at different times or they go back and forth. So if you make a short timeline or even like a list of the characters, this can help you to keep track of what's happening in the story. Okay, so my recommendation, there are so many books that take place in New York City, but one that I think is really good and that's a great one for English learners is called Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Okay, so this is about a young boy named Oscar, and his father is killed in the September 11 attacks. Okay, so it's a bit sad, but what he does after this happens is he sets out to solve the mystery of a key that he finds in his father's closet, okay? So this takes him all around the city. You get to see a lot of interesting New York scenery, okay? This book is by Jonathan Safran Foer, okay? And I recommend reading this book if you want to read a book set in New York City. All right, now let's talk about a movie. Again, there are so many movies about New York City, but one that I particularly like we'll go to this first, called Frances Ha. Frances is a 20-something-year-old woman, aspiring dancer, and she is struggling to make her way in New York City. So this is a very typical story because many people move to New York City when they're young and they're looking for a job. It's a difficult city to live in because it's very expensive. Maybe you move and you don't know people. So this is a very common story for people who live in New York. Okay, so Frances Ha. So let's go back one and look at my tips for learning English with movies. So I recommend watching movies with the subtitles in English if you watch with subtitles, but I recommend watching with subtitles. It's helpful, but don't put them in your native language. Always watch in English, because if you watch the subtitles or you read the subtitles in your native language, then you're not actually focusing on the dialogue, you're just reading. So try to read the subtitles in English, listen to the pronunciation so that you're listening and reading at the same time. So this is good practice. Most movies are, 1 hour and a half to 2 hours long, which can be a lot, especially if it's in a foreign language. So what you might want to do is to break it up into shorter sessions, watch for half an hour, take a break, get a drink, come back refreshed. So this is one way that you can make sure you're always concentrating when you're watching the movie. I also recommend taking notes, maybe write a summary of what you've just seen, so then when you go back to the next section of the movie, you remember what was happening. Okay? You can even make a list of your favorite quotes or some vocabulary expressions that you heard in the movie that you want to look up later. All right, so this is how we can learn English with movies. So as I said, my recommendation in New York City is Frances Ha, this 20-something woman struggling to find her way in New York City, aspiring dancer. It's very good, funny at times, but very interesting. Okay, and finally, a song about New York City. Okay, I have chosen, I'll tell you what I chose after I tell you about how we can learn English with songs. So let's look at our tips. The first thing that you can do, I recommend looking up the lyrics online and either print them and have them in your notes, or just keep them on your laptop. That way you can read along as you listen, and you can even take notes, maybe keep a notebook with vocabulary and expressions from the song. And once you understand the meaning, then you can sing along and have fun. And I have chosen this song by Billy Joel, which is called New York State of Mind. Okay, so a state of mind is kind of the way that you are thinking about something, all right? So let's look at just one part of the lyrics from this song. So he says, some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood, hop on a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood, but I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. Okay, so what does this mean? So here's some folks. This is another way to say some people. Okay, so some folks like to get away, like to go on a holiday. So some people, imagine you live in New York City and you want to actually leave to go somewhere else. But he's saying, no, I'm taking a Greyhound, which is a kind of bus, on the Hudson River line. So the New York is along the Hudson River. And I'm in a New York state of mind means that I'm thinking about New York. I feel like being in New York. Okay, so now I want you to practice with what we've just learned by writing in the comments. Okay, I'm going to ask you a few questions and you can write your answers in the comments section. Okay, so my first question, where did you last go on vacation? Or where are you going on the next one? Okay, so we're talking about destinations. Today our topic is New York City, but I want to know for you specifically, where did you last go on vacation, on holiday, and where do you plan to go next? Okay, maybe it's New York City. All right, and what is your favorite book, movie, and song? If it's in English, great. If it's in another language, maybe you can translate what it's about, for example. So as you are writing your answers to these questions, I want to tell you more about our course. At ABBA, we have a complete course from beginners to business level. Our course has 144 units, and each unit starts with a short film and a video class explaining the grammar, and then you have exercises to practice all of your skills, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So that is all covered in our course. If you want more information, you can go to abbaenglish.com. And the great thing about our course is that you can take it with you wherever you go. It's available in app version. You can download the app, or you can study from the web. So check it out if you haven't already. In addition to our course, we have many other ways for you to improve your English with us. We are on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube and Instagram, and we are updating content on those pages every day. So it's a great way for you to practice a little bit every day with us at ABBA. Okay? I see people are still writing their answers to the questions, so I will give you more time. I just want to tell you about next week's class. We're going to talk about tricky prepositions, okay? So tune in for that. And I want to remind you again to vote for ABBA for the Best App Award in Spain. We'll be posting the link. All you have to do is click on the link and then click to vote. So we need your help to win this award. If you already use the app or the course and you're happy with it, then please help us by voting. Okay, so I want to thank everyone who has joined. I hope this class has been useful for you. Hopefully you will be inspired first to travel and second to improve your English through books, movies, and songs, because these are all great ways for you to improve. All right, so join us next week, same time, and have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye.